Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Sincerely Shakti. I am your host, Shakti. I am the founder of Wellness Mama Shakti and of SincerelyShakti.com. Today, we're going to talk about something that I think is extremely relevant, especially considering that we are in election time and there are so many feelings going around, revolving around election time. There's so much charge around this conversation, and I felt that it was really important for me to give a reminder to all of you guys about the significance of not externalizing the responsibility for our life. And I think that's extremely important reminder right now, especially as regardless of who's going to win and what that path is going to look like, there are going to be people with enormous amounts of disappointment. And furthermore, leading up to this particular moment in history and in time, there's just so much charge around either candidate and about the future of this country. And I find it extremely interesting how the conversations around this have devolved, and there's all this blame and like charge and anger and violence even in the dialogue that we've used with each other. And it's very disheartening for someone who avidly tries to live in a world with compassion and presence. And regardless of other people's views or perspective, I strive to really stay present with the fact that other people are completely allowed to have different opinions as myself and different ways of looking at the world. And my responsibility as a human being on this journey is to love and support other human beings regardless of our shared differences. And by doing that, I am actually encouraging a culture of unity and oneness instead of further creating divisiveness in the name of being right, or righteousness, which is the opposite of unity and bringing people together. So regardless on what platform you stand, it, in my opinion, is never the middle way. It is never the right way to attack another human being for their perspectives. I think that's really just playing into the divisiveness of being right, and preferring to be right than to be whole, which I think is really dangerous. It's a dangerous conversation. So I just want to make a video to kind of address this and remind you guys that our responsibility for our life does not lie in the hands of a president or of a mayor or of a senator or of a representative of the House. Our responsibility to our life lies within us. And when we wake up every single day, we get an opportunity to vote for our lives. We get the opportunity to make choices that are proactive in our life or that hold us back. And regardless of the external circumstance in our world, we have control over how we experience that world. We have control over how we interact with that world. And for those of you who are like, yeah, well, violence, war, this and that, I have the perfect example of this in a book that I love and cherish, and when I read it, completely changed me on like a very internal core way. And if you have not read this book, you absolutely must. It's Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. And Viktor Frankl is a psychiatrist, and he was alive during the time of Nazis, and he ended up in a concentration camp, and this book details his journey through that, and it's extremely poignant. At the time that he was captured, he was working on these documents that were basically his life's work around a concept that he later coined as logotherapy. And I'm just going to read you the quick synopsis on the back of this one particular or two sentences that really capture the essence of what I'm trying to say. Based on his own experience and the stories of his patients, Frankl argues that we cannot avoid suffering, but we can choose how to cope with it, find meaning in it, and move forward. At the heart of this theory, known as logotherapy, is a conviction that the primary human drive is not pleasure, but the pursuit of what we find meaningful. I think that's so poignant and so on point. And if you know anything about me, you followed my journey, you know that I study Buddhism and I'm really aligned with the philosophy of Buddhism. And in that philosophy, Buddha talks about suffering as inevitable, as part of our human experience. Because we are alive, we will experience suffering. But the point of life is not to avoid suffering. The point of life is to understand how to be in suffering and how to find meaning in the suffering and move through it. And I think when we try to avoid situations that are painful, or we wish that we didn't have problems, that's avoiding reality. That's escapism. And that's the reason I think a lot of people turn to drugs and substance abuse and a lot of different things, because they want to escape a reality of suffering that they can't, because we can't. So in the story of our suffering, our choice is really to we have one of two choices. Either we want to avoid the suffering, so we escape into things that are harmful for us, or we accept responsibility for the suffering that we've experienced and we decide that we're going to make something out of it and find our way through it. So this video is really a reminder of that. It's a reminder that no matter your circumstance, and his circumstances were pretty fucking dire. They were pretty dark. They were to the point where no human should really ever be exposed to anything of this nature. But what he found out of this experience was so profoundly beautiful and moving, and it led to this work that is now life-changing. And I don't think I've met a single person who's read this book that didn't feel that way about it. And I encourage you guys to put your lives into perspective and put your experiences into perspective, and to understand that maybe you were a victim of a situation once, you were victimized once, but you can't remain a victim forever. And the circumstances of your life are the way that they are because you have not accepted responsibility for your life, and you have not decided to make something different out of the circumstances of your life. You're waiting for external factors to change. You're waiting for a new president to happen. You're waiting for a new job to happen. You're waiting for your partner to change. You're waiting for circumstances to change when you don't realize that it's about you. You have to change. You have to accept responsibility for your life. And when you begin to change you, everything around you will change also. It doesn't work the other way. The outside is a reflection of the inside. As above, so below. As within, so without. Remember that always. So if you need a really poignant reminder of this book is fantastic. It's a very quick read. It's not super long, and he's such a great storyteller. It's really, really compelling and moving. I highly recommend it. And I hope that this video allowed you to put something in perspective in your life and offered you great value, and that regardless of what happens in this election time, I'm filming this a couple days before I'm going to post it, so results will have already been in. I want you guys to understand that your life is dictated by you. It's not dictated by anything else. So if you are not happy with your life, change it. Make different choices today, right now. And if you need help and you don't know where to go, especially with your health and fitness, you're not happy, you're sick, you're in pain, then email me. You can email me. You have a contact form right here in my blog. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can contact me through Facebook or even Instagram. It's Wellness Mama Shakti. I'm the same handle all the way across. And I'd love to connect with you and help you figure out how you can jumpstart your life so that you don't continue in this rat race of unhappiness and lack of fulfillment. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, my name is Shakti. I'm the founder of Wellness Mama Shakti and SincerelyShakti.com, and you're welcome to contact me or email me at wellness.mama.shakti@gmail.com. Thanks so much. Have a good one.